ride out.
Can McCaffrey do it again? It's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Washington Redskins taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to uptown Charlotte and rain-soaked Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On second down, McCaffrey. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 20 carries, 82 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
12 yards is the pickup there, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. On play action, they'll throw. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team to wins.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down. Finley. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver up and downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks,
Here
if
we
I'm
go.
not
That
mistaken.
does.
Correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone's talking about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Here's a look at the starters defensively for Washington. They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
Here we go now. 3-19.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Brandon Graham. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here we go now.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down. So they wind up throwing it against your advice, but the result's still a fourth down.
Well, it did turn out to be a safe throw. And you know how sometimes coaches talk about using short passing game as a run? Essentially, that's what they did there. Now they can kick it away.
It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So out now come the Redskins. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And his throw is incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Green.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Finley dumps it off for Geis. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down.
Here we go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun, Finley. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Now let's go. Green.
Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll try and run forward with Collins. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Crowder now to return. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. And here come the Redskins now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And he's able to get up here to the 26. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 24 carries, 91 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space. I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Now let's go.
From the gun, Finley. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Back to throw. Finley. Anunwa's got it. Complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a... Latavius Murray, the 30, 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Holding offense.
Ouch, could have been a game-tying touchdown. They'll have to hold on that at least for now.
Ouch in a big way, like ripping the Band-Aid off there. Can they let the sting subside and come back and get it done?
And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Carolina Carolina getting set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. That'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
They go play action here on first down. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Back to throw here. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And avoids the contact by sliding. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90. Boom, 90.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he gets it to Funchess complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll set up to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Zach Brown with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And Gano's kick is right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Oh, fighting off the defender. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Geis, and he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He finds Latavius Murray. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
A good pickup there at 22.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness, especially when they run across the field, because you're not just running with him, you're trying to run through some traffic as well.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Now let's go.
Operating from the gun, Finley. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go.
From the gun, Finley. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. Calling no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
The kick by Tavecchio is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now back to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Brown in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue.
He'll drop to throw. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now it's Crowder. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 3rd down, Finley. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Collins. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
Here we go now. Green 30.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
McCaffrey. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The Panthers on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7.
Green 39! Green 39!
Looking to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Well, you got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen, because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Got an open man. It's a noon one. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. To throw on second down. Finley firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. On first down, Finley throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Looking to throw. Finley, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Set, 319, 319.
They'll run the counter with Collins. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. They'll throw now on the final play. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, see what's happening with the Bengals. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. Tyrell Williams, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Finley going with a screen for Murray. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Here's Tressway now, standing just outside his own goal line. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Paul Richardson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Gano now to add the extra point. Gano the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Gano out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Set! Green 39!
To throw on 3rd down, Finley. And he can't quite pick it. No interceptions so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
They'll drop to throw. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
They're going to look to throw. So we get a traffic there, and that's going to pick up a 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And Olsen over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And he's brought down. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Greg Olsen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now let's go. Green.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is Geis. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They stay on the ground. Geis again. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
The guilty party, Chance Warmack, the guard out of Alabama. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. They get 8 yards back there, and they could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Redskins on 3rd down. A very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Finley to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys that got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. One quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Third down, here's McCaffrey. He had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And look at this, it's a fake. And boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. And the tackle there will go to Ryan Anderson. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
319.
Throwing on 1st down. Finley. Anugla's got it. Complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hey. Now let's go. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15.
Set. 319.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 319.
From the gun, Finley. Looking sideline, incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw again, Finley. And an alley to run. And they'll get this down to the 10. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Finley. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. In for the score. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will shave one more off this lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A little juke. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. the play fake. Finley. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On first down, Finley throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll hand it down to Geis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it third down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd and 2, Finley. This one caught by Crowder. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Set. Green 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jordan Reed, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Tavecchio to add the PAT. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that will get him one closer. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. What was once a really comfortable lead is not so comfortable anymore. Down to a 2-score game after they've seen a pair of touchdowns go against them on those last 2 drives.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to get off of autopilot right now, okay? Get back to what was working for them earlier. Understand that they still have a 2-score lead, so it's not dire, but at the same time, okay, guys, let's mash the gas. Let's get going again. Let's have some fun.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Boom.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. They move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll halt play here for an injury as Christian McCaffrey is slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll look to throw. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Jake Ryan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Still going. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw. Finley. And Reed with it over the middle. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing on 1st down. Finley. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Finley. And his throw here's incomplete. Quincy Anunwa, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Throwing again. Finley. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been stymied left and right, converted only 1 time. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Finley. This is caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Quincy Anunwa, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. So they get the score still down, but bottom line is they kept themselves in the game.
They did keep hope alive, Brandon. That's exactly what they did. Now they've got to deliver and finish things off.
The lefty Tavecchio now to add the extra point. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
All right, here we go.
And again, it's Collins. And an alley to run. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll set up a throw. Wide open receiver complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Here's a first down run with Collins. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They go again with Collins. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Collins. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now a give to Collins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years.